Welcome all my dear student of class 6th. Today our discussion lesson is geography lesson number 3, motions of the earth. Here we have the concepts like rotation, then revolution, then what is a leap year, then summer solstice and winter solstice. So few concepts you already know, like rotation. Last year you have learned it. Then you have learned revolution also. So again we'll have a revision of those topics. So first is rotation. So as you know that the earth has two types of motions, namely rotation and revolution. Rotation is the movement of the earth on its axis. The movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path or orbit is called revolution. And what is the result of rotation? Result of rotation is day and night, where as you can see in the picture, when which part of the earth is getting sun rays, there or on that part the day is seen or observed, and the which part of the earth not getting the sun rays is observed night. So we can say rotation. So result of rotating of the earth around its axis, around its own axis, is what? Rotation. The axis of the earth, which is an imaginary line, makes an angle of 66.5 degree with the orbital plane. The plane formed by the orbit is known as orbital plane. So the earth receives light from the sun. Due to the spherical shape of the earth, you can see in the picture the earth is in spherical shape, means it is little bit tilted, or it is not straight, it is tilting, it is cross. So due to the spherical shape of the earth, only half of it gets light from the sun at a time. And the portion facing the sun experiences day, while the other half away from the sun experience night. The circle that divides the day from night on the globe is called a circle of illumination. So I am again repeating, what is circle of illumination? A circle of illumination is the line that make the earth's half part as a day and half part as a night. Means the place till where the sun rays are going, and from beyond that the sun rays are not going to other part of the earth. That line we can say is a circle of illumination. The circle does not coincide with the axis, as you can see in the figure on the screen. So the earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. Okay. The period of rotation is also known as Earth Day. What we call a period of rotation, Earth Day also. This is the daily motion of the Earth. Okay, every day Earth is rotating this way. It is completing a cycle of rotation every day. Then we have the next concept, that is revolution. What would happen if the earth did not rotate? Okay, suppose earth stopped rotating. So what will happen? You imagine and think over it. What can be the result if the earth is not rotating? The portion of the earth facing the sun would always experience day. This will be the result. Means suppose the earth is not rotating, so only half part of the earth will get sunrise, so that part only will be getting the sunlight, so it will be day throughout the year. So it will bring continuous warmth to that region only, which is getting the sunrise. But the half part of the earth which is not receiving the sunrays will not get the light, and there will be night and there will be darkness. And as the sun rays are not reaching there, the temperature will also definitely be we can say freezing point, or there will be very cool atmosphere, because the earth is warmth, because the earth is getting the sun rays, that's why. So it is warmth. But as the sun rays will not be reaching to that part will not be very cooled. Okay. And life will be impossible in such conditions, because even sun rays are required to plants, even animals. The second motion of the earth I was talking about you is the earth around the sun in its orbit is called revolution. So it takes 365 days approximately. Of course, there are more 6 hours also to receive around the sun. Revolve around the sun. Okay, so we consider year as consisting of how many days? 365 days. But we ignore the 6 hours for the sake of our convenience. Okay, we don't count every year 6 hours, so we neglect to 6 hours after 365 days. Then 6 hours saved every year. So we are saving 6 hours every year. So these 6 hours saved every year are added to make one day. So for example, first year 6 hours, then second year 6 hours, then third year 6 hours, and fourth year 6 hours. So together if we combine it, so it can make 24 hours. So this 24 hours make a day. Okay, so this surplus day is added to the month of February, isn't it? So thus every fourth year, February is of 29 days and instead of 28 days, isn't it? So after each 4 year, the gap of 6 hour which we have saved each year, that is added to a day after 4 year. So that year we call as leap year. Okay, so leap year is the year, and how to identify which is leap year and which a normal year. So if that year is divisible by 4, if it can be divided by 4, that we can call as a leap year. For example, 2000 is leap year, so next leap year will be 2004, then next 2008, next 2012, like this. It will be seen after 4 year. So it is clear that the earth is going around the sun in an elliptical orbit, I told. Notice that throughout its orbit, the earth is inclined in the same direction. Okay, so a year is usually divided into we can say some seasons. This season include like summer, then we have winter, spring and autumn. Okay, the season changes due to the change of the position of the earth around the sun. So why we can have the seasons? We can have the season because seasonal changes happen due to the change of the position of the earth around the sun. Okay, so I hope you must have understood these two concepts of rotation and revolution and the result of this. Rotation result is what? Day and night. Revolution result is change in the year and even change in the seasons. And then you will see that on 21st of June, northern hemisphere. What is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere? In last lesson we have discussed globe, longitude and latitude. So the globe or earth, if we want to divide, it can be divided into two equal halves. The upper half, what we call northern hemisphere, and the half that is to south of the globe or the earth is known as southern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Okay, so most of the countries are in northern hemisphere including India. So the rays of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, the rays of the sun falls directly on the Tropic of Cancer. As a result, this area receives more heat, and the areas otherwise we can say the area from equator to Tropic of Cancer is receiving maximum heat. The same way the area from equator to Tropic of Capricorn, that is in southern hemisphere, and Tropic of Cancer in northern hemisphere, that middle area of the globe of the earth is receiving maximum sun rays. So here the brightness is more, here the heat is more. Okay, but the area like North Pole and South Pole, where the sun rays are not reaching properly, they are not reaching as required, and the sun rays are slanting, they are cross. So this area receives very less rays. Okay, the North Pole is inclined toward the sun, and the places beyond the Arctic Circle experience continuous daylight for 6 months. Since a large portion of northern hemisphere is getting light from the sun, it is summer in the regions north of the equator. Okay, and then the longest day and the shortest night at these places occur on 21st June. In northern hemisphere, the longest day and the shortest night is observed on 21st June. At this time in the southern hemisphere, you can see when the conditions are particular conditions are seen in a hemisphere. For example, if the northern hemisphere is getting sun rays quite well, so southern hemisphere will not get sun rays. So opposite of that, suppose one hemisphere is getting lot of sun rays or more sun rays, so the opposite situation will be there in other hemisphere. So southern hemisphere, these conditions are actually reverse, that are observed on 21st June. So here winter season is there in southern hemisphere. When there is a when there is summer in northern hemisphere, at the same time there will be winter in southern hemisphere. Okay, the nights will be here longer as compared to days. So this position of the earth is called as the summer solstice. Summer solstice. What is summer solstice? When northern hemisphere is receiving more sun rays, that time that area experience summer season, and whereas in southern hemisphere it is winter season. The same way, on 22nd December, the Tropic of Cancer receives direct sun rays of the sun at the South Pole tilt towards it. Okay, so as the sun rays fall vertically at the Tropic of Capricorn, a larger portion of the southern hemisphere gets light. Okay, therefore it is summer in the southern hemisphere. The condition which was on 21st June in northern hemisphere, certain type of situation can be experienced in we can say in southern hemisphere. Okay, so it is summer in the southern hemisphere with longer days and shorter nights. Okay, the rivers happen in the northern hemisphere. The position of the earth is called the winter solstice. Okay, do you know that Christmas is celebrated in Australia in the summer season? Again a surprising thing, again I am repeating question. Like, do you know that Christmas is celebrated in Australia in summer season? Here in India, in which month we have, or what is the season, or which season is experienced during the festival Christmas? Of course, it is cool when we have a cool atmosphere here in winter, or when there is a December month. But in Australia, these people experience summer season. On 21st March and September 23rd, the direct rays of the sun fall on the equator. When 21st March and September 23rd, direct rays of the sun fall on the equator. At this position, neither the pole is tilted toward the sun, so the whole earth experience equal days and equal nights. Okay, on 23rd September and 21st March, the earth experience equal days and equal nights. Okay, and 23rd September, it is autumn season in the northern hemisphere, and spring season in southern hemisphere. Okay, the opposite is the case on 21st March, when it is spring in the northern hemisphere, and autumn in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so these are the very important changes, or these are very important results of what we call as rotation and revolution of the earth. These are the motions of the earth, and these are quite making the changes in the seasons, as it depends on the sun rays. As the earth is moving, so it is sometime going away from the sun rays. It is not getting the sun rays. Some portion is not getting the sun rays, some portion is getting the sun rays. According to that, the seasons are experienced. Okay, so I hope I have covered every point of the lesson. So keep learning and take care.